It's Happy Hour again from Uptown New Orleans. Hello, I'm Grant Morris. Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network. It's neworleans.com. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on either side of you. What you do know is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limousine or just got out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you. Because that's New Orleans, and this is Happy Hour, a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common. Other than we're all New Orleans in a bar today, we're at Wayfair on Ferret Street, which is a restaurant and a bar that serves handcrafted food and spirits 7 days a week, which includes today, by the way. They have a happy hour here every day from 3 to 6. And if you don't want to come down for that, just stick around for the next hour because we're having happy hour here. Also, I want to say thank you very much to everybody who's one of our Patreon subscribers before we kick off. So if you're looking to be a part of the happy hour family, go to patreon.com, patreon.com, and search for It's New Orleans Happy Hour and join it to get all sorts of perks and benefits. One of the benefits is that you get to hang out with us like everybody else, which is, you know.
Is that right?
I don't know whether that's a sort of a benefit or a penance. But Andrew Duhon is here for the last time before his new album comes out.
Well, that's true. That is true.
Next time you see Andrew on Happy Hour, he's going to have another album out.
Well, only in physical form, though, because, you know, the way that it's done these days is you release it in physical form, then you sell it on all your shows on the road so that, you know, people come to your shows for a month, and then you release it to the digital platforms a month later.
I had no idea that's how it goes now. So you can only...
Bullets in the barrel. Got to shoot one at a time.
So you can only buy... What can you buy first? The physical record
Right.
only, not the digital record.
That's right.
But how weird is that? Because everybody wants a digital copy now. Nobody buys...
Well, of course.
You gotta wait.
But, yeah,
Does
you got to
anybody-
wait. And what you do to kind of leave the bait happening is you release a couple of singles now.
Okay.
You know, and promote the release of the physical copy. So there's a couple of teaser singles out, you know, while people
Which you
are
can
waiting.
get on Spotify,
Right.
which I've heard on Spotify.
But you could
Okay.
also order
Right.
the record online. So if you're in Saskatchewan or something and you want the record, but I'm not heading there, you can still get a copy.
Okay, all right. Does it make sense to you guys? These two guys
is
are
good
from a
to
band
hear.
called Bon Bon Vivant.
Yep.
Right.
And it's a husband and wife team, apparently. Is that right?
Yeah,
That's it.
believe it or not.
Abigail and Jeremy. Jeremy Kelly and Abigail Cossier.
That's it.
How long have you been married?
5 years? Coming on 5? Heading to
5
6,
years,
5 or 6.
yeah.
Have you been playing together that whole time, or did you start off doing something else?
We've been playing together about 10 years. We were in a outside of marriage relationship for a long time.
The music came first, and then very quickly the rest of it happened.
So you've been playing together for 5 years before you got married, and now you've been playing together for 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the same
a lot of
band, or
math.
different types of bands?
Different band. The first was a different band. We formed this band in New Orleans.
The same
Bon
sort
Bon
of
Vivant.
stuff?
Yeah.
Like sort of gypsy, jazz, rock,
A little
whatever
more.
you'd call it?
I think it
It had a little,
swung
like,
closer to the alt
folkier,
country. Yeah.
alt country.
Yeah.
Right.
The
Folk
jazz
country.
got to us.
After you moved to New Orleans?
Yeah.
Where'd you move from?
Oh, California.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good move.
We're refugees from California.
What part of California are you from?
Kind of north of LA. You couldn't say LA because it's not.
North
but,
of LA?
Yeah. That's
What's it actually called?
It's Simi Valley. It's
Simi
the little
Valley.
town, yeah.
We all know where Simi Valley is because that's where the Ronald Reagan Library is.
Whoa! You,
So who wouldn't know that?
Wow, see, I used that to locate it, but nobody knows where that
We're
is.
all big Ronald Reagan fans
Oh,
here.
of course you
Nice.
are.
Yeah. Right, Susan?
The Gipper?
Dr. Susan Julius is here. The Gipper. Is that what they call it?
The Gipper.
Where'd that come
They call me Dr. J. For
Dr.
short.
J, do that?
Oh, that's
I'll
hot.
have to write it
Yeah,
down.
Dr. J is on the way.
Love it.
I used to have a house call business, and that was my logo.
Yeah.
Dr.
House
J.
called for medical things
Actually,
or
as a
other
family
stuff?
medicine doc.
Oh,
yes.
really?
Oh, wow.
During Katrina, I actually was one of the crazy ones that stayed, and it was impossible to get anywhere. Patients' clinics were closed, so I went
Right.
to the patients.
Dr. J is on the way. That's when you came up with the slogan?
Yes, I did,
Have
and
you,
it kind of stuck.
Have you trademarked that? Or could I start using it?
You can use it. You can
People
use
call
it.
me Dr.
I haven't
J.
trademarked
Wasn't
it.
someone
Yeah.
called Dr. J? Wasn't that like a basketball player?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
the
Who
yes.
was that?
Dr. J.
He played for the Sixers. Julius Irving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Julius Irving. Right. That's pretty good, Dr. J. So, but you are a real doctor, though, right? You're not
Yes,
a
I
basketball
am.
professional.
I am.
You're not
I'm,
an athlete at all.
Family practice doctor. First, I was a physical therapist, and then a family practice doctor, and then an addictionist.
An addictionist.
An addictionist.
Meaning?
They also.
We
It
should
goes
talk.
She's
also.
not going to take your drink, Seth.
Seth immediately grabs his drink. Like, wait.
This is martini.
Let me introduce Seth Smiley is here as well. Hey, Seth.
Hey, how y'all doing?
We're good. How are you doing?
I'm excellent.
I'm sort of
excellent.
getting
Yeah.
a crick in my neck turning around looking at you over these glasses.
It's a small table. It's a
It is
small
very
table.
cramped.
Yeah.
So, Seth, you're an attorney
I am lawyer. Yes, it's real exciting.
from the Smiley Law Firm.
That's me. Yeah.
Now, that's a great name for a lawyer's company, isn't it?
It is.
I kind of catch some hell, but yeah, it's the people say they want a tough lawyer, and I say you get a smiley lawyer. So
That's your real name is
It's-
Seth Smiley.
Yeah, real name. I'm born with it.
Put the smiley on him.
My wife loves it. I've had it my whole life, so it gets a little old.
Hey, that's a
but-
great name.
Yeah, it's good for radio.
What's
and
your
things like
slogan? One smiley, that's all? Or?
6 smiley on him.
that. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We'll make you smiley, something like that.
We'll
Yeah,
make you
yeah,
smiley.
yeah.
Do you have billboards that say, Mr. Smiley got me $500,000? Like,
Not yet.
who's got those ones?
After this
you
show.
seen those?
Cardone.
The
Morris
Womack,
Bard.
yeah.
you just
Morris
drove
Bard.
in from Baton Rouge, right?
did.
Susan, so did you
Yes.
see them on the way from Baton Rouge?
No, with
They're
the
up on-
logos.
Yeah, they
The
say
logos?
they say somebody
That's Womack.
somebody got me
Yeah.
Womack.
Yes,
Womack.
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 Womack. Phone
Somebody-
Cardone.
How do you get?
Right.
So Seth, how do I get $500,000 out of somebody?
You gotta have a really crooked neck.
Do I really have to have it, or can you bullshit my way?
I can't, but a lot of doctors can.
Really?
Yeah.
So can you hook me up with a guy who?
Yeah, you just need a tap. You
Hey,
need
look
a
at
tap.
look at lawyer, doctor, right
Oh,
here at the
perfect.
table.
Dr. J is on the way.
Soft tissue
solid.
injury will get you less than 6 figures. You have to have more than soft tissue.
There you go.
Injury.
Well, you can
Oh,
fake
all
that
right.
up. Well, you can all split it, right? Because what do you take? 50%?
Close.
How much?
A third. Yeah.
33%.
Yeah, ish.
And what do you get? Dr. J is on the way for that.
I usually
For
wind
my-
up medical industry is the only industry where you bill a certain fee, but you only get what you contract for. So if I go to get a haircut
Yeah,
and charge
right, right.
$10, I don't get $10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God
But
for that.
it's probably
for
so.
the, for the
For the
consumer.
patient. Yes, exactly.
But for you, I guess it
Exactly,
doesn't
yeah.
work that well. But so how does that work? Because I got a bill from the hospital that I was admitted to for $150,000 for real. I'm not making
That's
this
cra-
up.
no, I believe it.
And
I
then
totally believe it.
But the actual charge was way less. So do they just come up with $150,000 knowing that they're never going to get that, or do they?
You know, I really don't know how they come up with these figures. I just know that it's astronomical, even for my own self as a patient and a consumer.
You're a
medical
patient
care.
and a doctor.
Yes,
That's
of
a good
course.
slogan
Yes,
right there.
yeah.
I'm a doctor and are you your own
It's
patient?
you can't even afford to be sick today. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Too
Yeah.
right,
Sure.
you can't.
Yeah,
But what do you
yeah.
do? So you work for an addiction clinic called Townsend Treatment Center.
Yes, I do.
And what is that? Is that like a national chain of addiction centers or local only or what?
Townsend is owned by American Addiction Centers,
Hmm.
which is one of the first publicly traded addiction companies in
So you can
America.
buy
And
shares in-
yes, yes, you
in
can.
addiction.
Yes,
They have a very good marketing department.
They
you
do.
hear their commercials all
Yes.
the time.
Really?
Yeah.
that's
Are
I
you
just
guys
turned it
hooked on
down.
drugs or anything?
Oh, yeah.
You guys in a band?
But I hear it's popular, and I'd like to buy some shares.
Yeah, this
It's
is
going up.
Yeah, right.
Drugs are fun, is what I hear.
Yeah.
It's an amazing company to work for. I started off working for Howard Wetzman, who was a co-founder of Townsend Addiction Centers.
How do you get to found an addiction center? He was a doctor originally
Howard's,
or
Howard's
a drug
amazing.
addict?
He's a colleague of mine. He's a mentor.
Right.
He's a psychiatrist and an addictionist, and he designed and founded Townsend. He came up with a biological model that, to this day, makes total sense.
Biological model.
Yes.
What does that mean?
What that means basically is there's
Like
three main
Melania
chemicals.
Trump is like a biological model.
Three main chemicals in the brain: dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin. And patients that have addiction, or people that have that disease of addiction, we don't have enough of the chemical called dopamine, or we don't regulate it well. So normal things in life that excite normal people, it's not enough for us. We need more, whatever it is, more of anything. More sex, more food, more nicotine, more drugs, more shopping, more spending.
Yeah,
Yes,
we do all
yes,
need that.
right.
That's true.
And so
That's why we go to Jazz Fest.
Exactly. And so we base that biological model. We do genetics. We swab the patient's mouth, and we send it off to our lab, and we analyze the genetics.
So
and we
can you tell us genetically whether we're predisposed to being a
Yes,
drug addict?
yes,
So we would
yes,
know that
yes,
as a
yes.
child now?
Yes.
That's
yes,
amazing.
Yes.
Okay.
There must
That's
be
incredible.
There must be a development then, if I'm hearing this right.
Yes.
If someone predisposed to addiction is somebody who maybe their dopamine is kind of muted versions. When they should be at a 8, they're at a 4. Say when everybody else is laughing or something, they're not quite there yet,
That
right?
sounds good.
So
I would agree.
So I suppose the the thing that we hope to get to is some element, instead of a drug that just gives you dopamine, ad nauseum, I suppose. There's something that can give our 4 a 7.
Yeah,
you
how do-
know,
how do you
when
boost
we
dopamine?
we
Oh,
activate
limited
it
dopamine.
ourselves. You know what I mean?
You boost dopamine many ways. The first way is doing what we're doing right now, sharing and being with others, not feeling less than, not feeling because part of the disease of addiction is we isolate and we feel less than,
Wow.
and
Okay.
that's completely related to dopamine tone. If you talk to a typical person suffering from this illness, they'll tell you, I've always felt restless, irritable, and discontent, and I never felt part of. And our low self-esteem
True.
makes us strive
Jeremy's
to
feeling
do
like
crazy, wild things to feel
Right.
better and to spike the tone in our brain, the dopamine tone. And so what we try to strive for is to remove the substances in our life that make us go up and down and up
Right.
and down, to have a tonic release of dopamine tone, to feel part of, to share with others.
But all that aside, if it's chemical,
Yes.
then why can't we do this genetic testing at birth, say,
That would be
and then
great.
we would find out what each of us is, and then we could just
Install a
put
pump.
it in
Yeah.
the water.
Right, whatever.
You know, everybody gets at school, elementary school, you get your dopamine
Fluoride
shot
for your teeth.
Yeah.
The dream of Howard Wetzman is to cure addiction in his lifetime. You know, I don't know if we'll ever be there.
I just cured it
but-
right then
yeah,
for
you
him.
just-
Why can't we do that if there is a genetic model? Seriously, there is.
I think one day we will have the answer to that illness. Just
I
like
thought you
we
said
did.
there is a genetic
But
thing
There,
now.
there are, but there's so
So-
much we don't know. If
Right.
we knew
Right.
everything,
Oh, I thought we had it all figured
if we
out.
knew
It's only
everything,
15 minutes into
I
this.
could have this martini today, right? Yeah. But I'm in recovery.
You're in
actually,
recovery.
but
What
yes.
were
Yeah,
you
I heard
hooked
you
on?
kept saying we.
I loved when I was little. I started off with beer at like 14, and then I smoked some pot, and then I got to college, and I'm one of the baby boomers, so it was Black Beauties to study with, White Crosses,
Right.
Then
Stay up, stay
I
up,
studied.
up.
I studied like crazy, and I got good grades, and that spiked my dopamine. And then I went on to realize that my forte was pain pills and amphetamines. Believe it or not.
What's an
and-
amphetamine exactly?
An amphetamine is a stimulant drug.
Which one?
It would be like Dexedrine, Spanchel, Adderall, Concerta, Ritalin, Vyvanse. I got to be careful now I don't get triggered while I'm talking to
I
you.
know.
So you
I
still-
saw-
you still-
I saw the
Would you still
gleam in
like
her
one?
eye. I
Yeah.
saw the gleam in her eye.
It was a lot more fun when you were on that stuff, though, wasn't it? Now it's not so
You
good.
know, while you're on it, you don't even realize that you're insane. You're totally insane. You don't even realize it. I actually got down to about 115 pounds. I
I
never
bet
really.
you look great.
I did. Well, I thought I looked great. I did.
How much do you weigh now?
I'm 159.
That's not that bad for.
No, I'm
You look
and I'm
beautiful.
and
Yeah, I
I'm,
was gonna
50,
say,
and I'm
for the-
59. So
Okay.
and last week I celebrated
ass.
my 11th year of sobriety.
Congratulations! All right. Okay. On that note,
Cheers.
I'm gonna have Bon Bon Vivant
Yes.
play a special song for you to celebrate.
Okay.
You want to play a song?
What do you guys do? We'll have to make you play a song right now before we get totally off the rails.
All
here.
right, all right.
We're not off the
So
rails yet. It
Tell
gets
us,
gotta
no,
hand me
no,
this
no, no. This is still
excited about
on the
this.
straight and
it
narrow.
gets worse.
like it.
Speaking
So-
of health, you want us to play a
What,
song?
tell us a little bit about what you want to play first. and then-
We kind of pre-discussed earlier.
Okay.
We picked a song which actually fits perfectly into the healthcare.
It's about addiction.
It's called Die Young. Yeah. About,
Die young.
about
Perfectly.
dancing and drinking and.
This could be a good song for both of your businesses.
A business
Actually.
model.
Tell them about the song.
Yeah, this could be.
Die Young.
Yeah.
I just did.
The chorus is actually, goddamn, we missed our chance to die young.
Yeah, sort of more from the
Ah,
perspective
okay.
of we're long past the age of dying
Too
young
late to
that
die
we're meant
young.
to. 27, that's the age of musicians,
That's
right?
right, yeah.
We're long past
Ah,
that.
you've
So
got-
it's sort of a let's just live it up then if we stop fearing about dying anymore kind of revelry.
Think of all the dopamine we could create for ourselves.
That's right.
Okay.
I need that thing over there.
You need a
though.
guitar. Okay, so how long has this band been together? What'd you say?
This operation, maybe 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah,
Okay.
4 years. That's my sister. She's gonna sing from the back wall.
So behind us we have Glory Cosio.
Yes,
Hi, Glory. What are you, a backup singer?
I am.
Okay, and Rai is here, Rai D'Antonio, who has an actual drum kit in here. And nobody at Wayfair has said anything yet, so we'll see what happens.
we didn't know we couldn't bring a drum kit.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We'll see if anyone
Where we go
complains.
on, we go on.
Let's see what it sounds like. All right.
nothing. You asked for this. Yeah, cool. All right. Ooh. All right. I can't see what they're doing back there, so you tell me if they're motioning. Oh, hi.
All right.
Here we go. Fill your glass, shake your ass, and leave your hesitations at home. Put this on your tongue. Baby, it's too late for us to die young. Shed some blood, let's make some love. I've been trying to get you alone. Don't you worry, no. Baby, it's too late for us to die young. Goddamn, we missed our chance to die young. Goddamn, we missed our chance to die young. I got the fever sweat the day you left. Now you're back, nothing is wrong. Can we finally fall in love? Baby, we waited too long to die young. I was late to bloom, so were you, but I was right when you came along. Good thing I'm never on time. Baby, we waited too long to die young. Goddamn, we missed our chance to die young. Goddamn, we missed our chance to die young. So please don't hesitate, oh I cannot wait. Kiss me quick, take your time. Now let's dance, they are playing our song. Baby, we missed our chance to die young. Here we go. Goddamn, we missed our chance to die young. Goddamn, we missed our chance to die young. Goddamn, we missed our chance to die young. Goddamn, we missed our chance to die young.
Okay, very nice. Bon vivant. So good they named it twice.
That's right. Good.
Got a
We
beautiful
missed our
voice.
chance to die young. God, wasn't that great, Susan? You loved it?
fantastic.
Seth, what'd you think?
Yeah, it was really good.
That spiked my dopamine.
See, natural.
I was thinking about that while you were playing because I was looking around. Everybody is smiling, except you're actually singing a song about dying.
Yeah.
We're missing your chance to die young.
See, they're
It's
not
positive.
singing
Yeah.
a song about dying. They're singing a song about
Surviving.
It's bittersweet, but at
Right.
the same time, it's ironic. You know, it's poetry. It's beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful lyrics,
But
beautiful
every-
verses.
It was great, and everyone's smiling. People were even dancing over here. I
That's
saw that,
right,
which is
I
a
saw
first,
dancing.
by the way, for Wayfair, as far as I'm aware. So congratulations. So where do we hear you normally? Let's not wait till the end of the show. Let's get this out of the way now. Where do you play around town?
DBA a lot. A bunch of places on Frenchman Street.
Right.
But coming up this Saturday, we're playing a charity event on Royal Street. They're going to block off Royal Street on April 28th, and we're going to play a place called Pause for the Law, which is a fundraiser for new dogs that are coming in for the police force to sniff out bombs.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Okay,
Canines.
that's a niche market.
Canines.
Okay, so it's April
that?
28th. 2018.
And then
If you're listening to this
And then-
podcast after that, it's too late.
on a more rowdy note, we're playing with a band called Dabash that night at
Siberia.
Siberia at 10 o'clock on the
Okay.
28th.
All right.
No dogs will be there.
No dogs at that one.
Only in the
okay, so
crowd.
this is Royal Street during the day. What time of during the day on Saturday is that?
6 to 9.
Oh, cool. Okay, so
French
it's not
Quarter
during the
Vet.
day. So it's kind of after Jazz Fest.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's a great gig, actually.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, it will be
Good
fun.
cause for dogs. Yeah.
For bomb sniffing dogs.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And you got your
blowing up.
sister, the backup singer, to move here.
Yeah.
Who said that?
You suckered her.
Seth, did you
Yeah.
say that?
It's terrible.
You got your sister to move here as well, Abigail.
That's
How-
it. Yeah. You know, we're two sisters out of 5 kids, so we
So
don't
2 out of
really do
5.
things alone.
Right,
So
okay, that's good.
we
Okay, so-
agreed. We were the two that had
So
to
what
move.
do you have tattooed on your fingers?
It says "Love wins"
Love wins.
because it does, or it should, or it will. We don't know yet.
So it says
It
love
will.
on your right hand and wins on
And
your...
for me, it says "wins love." So you know,
All right.
either way,
What does it say when you look at it?
wins love. Me personally, I win love.
Wins love.
And yours
What
is-
made you do that? Were you drunk or high?
I
or-
was devastated after the day after the election and needed a little dopamine, so I went to the tattoo
Hey, good
parlor at
question,
10 a.m.
Dr. J.
Pain actually spikes dopamine.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, it worked for me, so it was a better day after the tattoo.
Yeah. Had brunch, went straight to the tattoo shop.
That's it.
Well, we've only got... You have no more fingers left, though.
That's it. I
So
got
let's
thumbs.
hope-
Yeah, that's right. Thumbs.
I got
Thumbs and
these
toes.
guys.
What I'm getting at is we can't have another bad day.
We cannot.
Yeah, you can go in the knuckle part, right?
yeah.
You could do
Go
on
there.
your knuckles,
Yeah,
yeah.
instead of there.
That's true.
There's always
Oh,
a
yeah.
new place to tattoo. I don't think
There's a
it'll be
whole
a
novel
problem.
Possibility, leader.
That's
Okay.
right.
I was, yeah, why limit yourself? Well, that was an interesting idea. And what other one tattoos have you got? Are
I got a whole bunch.
they, are
this
they
one is-
associated with bad days as well? Or?
You know, that's the only bad one, I think. This
Okay.
one's for this guy because it's Jay of Hearts.
Jack of
That's-
Hearts,
Yeah, he's got
playing
a.
card. Okay,
got
and
a-
you've got the Ace of Hearts on
We've
yours.
been,
Aces.
Okay.
Abigail and Jeremy.
we've been marked.
Oh, it's A and
It's
J.
a little-
Oh, okay,
A
all
little
right.
wink and a nod.
That's cool. And they have a few others, but
Yeah.
nothing
I
to do with politics on there.
no.
Do you have a bunch of them as well, Jeremy?
I do. I've got one.
Look at that. Whoa.
The first song, when I first met Abby, that she wrote, kind of changed our lives. And so I tattooed some of the song lyrics.
Where
It
are
kind of
your
reminds me
tattoos,
of a
though?
path that I want to be on.
Do you want to read those, Abigail? Can you
Really?
read that?
Oh
Yeah,
my
what does it
gosh,
say?
I don't know.
Can you still read it?
They're blurry. They're very
Getting-
old.
It's getting old.
It says, really? You want me to do this? We got 60 minutes, I guess. I
Or I
don't
can
know.
vote.
It says it's not a
Everyone else
whisper.
vote.
I mean, do you want to vote?
No, yeah, please.
Everyone's voting.
It was from a song called Chanticleer, and it says, "It's not a whisper I'm singing, but a battle anthem, sung by the tired and the trembling hands, about the revolution they are told to deny. You've got that same crazy look in your eye."
Wow, nice. How does it go, actually?
It's been a long time. We don't sing that one anymore.
Can you remember the melody?
It's not a whisper I'm singing, but a... You really want me to do this?
Yeah,
This is what it's for.
Help me out. Harmonies.
sure.
I know. Go. I mean, they're right here. You just
Yeah, I
read
can
his arm. Come on.
It's like a teleprompter. It's like a living teleprompter.
What tattoos do you have, though?
I don't have any tattoos at all yet.
How'd you make
Today
it?
is the day.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for someone else to get elected.
Okay. How many
I could do-
tattoos?
I could do
Let's see,
hate
let's do
wins.
this. Hate wins. No,
That'd
we're
be cool.
That's currently up for
That made my dopamine levels drop.
Okay, all right, I won't do that. I'm not doing that then. Okay, so let's hear it. How does it go?
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
It's not a whisper I'm singing, but a battle anthem sung by the tired with the trembling hands. About the revolution they're told to deny. You got that same crazy look in your eye. Ooh.
Pretty nice. What do you think? Yeah. Wow, it makes a big difference when you can sing, doesn't it? Sarah, what's up?
You guys have an open invite to play at Melba's Po' Boys by this guy, Scott Wolf. Do you know Scott Wolf?
I do.
I know Scott Wolf.
Yeah.
Scott
It's
Wolf,
around
too.
the corner.
I used.
He works at Melba's, right?
Scott
he owns
Wolf.
Mel. Yeah, you can talk, Susan.
Is it working? My mic?
Yeah.
Okay. I used to work. Scott Wolf employed me when I was Dr. J on the way. I used to take care of all Wagner's Beat Your Meat
he
employees.
was originally owned Wagner.
Yes,
You can't
yes.
beat Wagner's
Hi, Scott.
meat.
Shout out to you and Mike.
Yeah, Michael. Yeah, all of them. That's
Right
really
on.
funny.
What-
Y'all
what
know
is-
Scott Wolf too? Yeah.
You know him
do.
too,
Yeah.
as well,
I
Seth?
married his daughter.
Did you really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So she's a Smiley now.
She's a Smiley now. She's the one who loves the name.
From Wolf to
Wolf to
Smiley.
Smiley.
there you
That's
go.
a
Yeah.
transition.
It
That's
is,
another
it
good
is.
tattoo for your fingers.
Yes, Wolf to
Smiley Wolf.
You have to hyphenate Smiley Wolf, right? That's got to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Wolf
No, it's
Smiley,
Wolf
Smiley
Smiley.
Wolf wedding. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
I mean, we knew
So
it's
y'all
a
should
small
definitely go
town.
to Melba's. Absolutely. Yeah.
They have
Melba's
great
is a
food.
cool place. You
It
you
is.
live close to it?
We
Yeah,
should do
we're
this
over
in
on that
Melba's one
end.
day.
Yeah.
Good idea.
The
That's what we
daiquiris, though,
think.
panty dropper, all that
The
stuff.
panty
Yeah,
dropper,
yeah.
right? And they
Dirty
have a
banana.
They have a stuffed chicken.
I mean,
Up
not a
there.
Daiquiri.
No, a lie. Like
$1
a what's it
idea.
called?
Oh, they do have a.
They have a- it's a good name for a daiquiri. Though.
I would definitely drink the stuffed chicken.
The stuffed
daiquiri.
chicken.
Sure.
That's a good place. So how did you meet Mrs. Smiley then, or Miss Wolf?
Mrs. Smiley. So it
Was
was,
she
through,
working
it was
at-
through the law, right? So it was through. I met Scott of Melba's, his son, who's a lawyer,
Right.
and he introduced me to his sister.
That's Scott
and,
Wolf Jr.
Yeah, and I always joke and say the best day of my life was meeting my wife's brother, because not only I got a business and a wife out of the deal. It was
man.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so she's like, why not the children, the day your children were born, the day we were married? I was like, yeah, but all that led from this one event.
Right.
So anyway, we'll go on the air saying that.
What
I
was
like
what led up to you getting a law firm?
He
Did you
actually
answer an ad in the paper, or how does that work?
No, going to work there.
Or you just got a job there.
I did in law school. I went to work for him. He told me I couldn't work for him, and I interviewed. He said no, and I said I'll come to work for you for free. He said start tomorrow, and the rest is history.
Well, there's a good lesson in that, isn't
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
If you really want something, don't worry about the money.
Right.
At first.
I knew what I needed.
first.
Right. At first.
It'll come at some point.
That's right. And if it doesn't, then leave.
Then
Go.
stop.
Think about it. Yeah.
What made you so determined or certain that you were right about that?
I'm a construction lawyer, and it was a construction law firm, and I come from that background from Baton Rouge. Like, I was putting up buildings my whole life with my dad, and realized I didn't want to be in the heat every day. So I found somebody who did that here, and I really liked the atmosphere and the culture, and I knew it was something I wanted to be a part of. So I told him, hey, I'll start tomorrow. Let's go.
Nice.
Are you still
Yeah.
doing that? Are you still a construction?
Yeah,
attorney?
absolutely.
You
Yeah.
What
get
does
paid
that
now,
mean
don't
Yes,
you?
yeah, contractor, subcontractor disputes, everybody's mad at their contractor, and all contractors have a bad name, right? Just like lawyers and used car salesmen. So we try to help them.
I didn't even know that. Is
Yeah,
that
we
right?
help them get. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing.
Like 2/3 of
Yeah.
my patients from Baton Rouge lost their homes in the floods.
Right, and my dad did too. Yeah,
And,
so
and they
from
had
that
to
area.
have all their whole lives and their homes rebuilt.
Right.
Yeah.
2/3 of my patients.
Yeah,
Wow.
Katrina was the same way down here, right? And I mean, it's just a thing. And then you get all this influx of contractors coming in from everywhere, like carpetbaggers, everything. And people don't realize what they're getting into, and people take all their money, and it's a bad situation. So we help that side of things, and we help the good contractors get paid for the work that they deserve. So.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can feel good about going.
I
to
sleep at night. I sleep well.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're not doing private personal injury stuff or anything.
We do a little of that, but those are the only
Right.
two things that we really do.
Right.
Yeah. So
And-
I help people get paid either when they've been in an accident, or if they've been, a contractor that hasn't been paid, or somebody's been screwed over by.
How often does it go to trial?
Very rare.
Yeah.
Very rare. And we actually try to push it to trial a lot of times, but the people we're against don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And so I think their statistics are like 98% don't go. And actually that's a good thing, because people settle before,
Yeah.
and they get to choose their fate, as opposed to leaving it up to somebody who really doesn't give a shit about, oops,
Right.
judges, hold your ears. But they really don't care, and so they just move through the process, and it ends up being some decision that has to be appealed and whatever else. And talking with the doctors, that system is not exactly working like a well-oiled machine, and neither is the legal industry.
Right.
And so we try to help people kind of stay out of it, but we bow up when we need to bow up, and fight when we need
Yeah.
to fight. So.
Smiling though.
Yeah. Right,
Smiling.
exactly.
The smiley way.
Yeah,
The whole
the whole
smiley
way.
way. That's pretty cool. So you can actually sort of subvert the worst parts of the justice system, which
that-
don't work.
Yeah, that's my goal. And a lot of people come to me like, we want to fight,
Right.
but we show them what that's like and how much it costs, and they're like, we don't want to fight.
Right.
Can we just get you some money instead?
Right,
we can all go
right,
home and
right,
have dinner.
right. Yeah,
Sure.
and then we keep clients for a lifetime, and that's the goal. I don't want to get rich off anybody like on one fell swoop. So it's growing with the community. Like I moved here after Katrina in 2006, went to law school here. I mean, it was like this street was almost non-existent, right? In
Right.
2006,
Right.
it was even Tulane students wouldn't come down this way, and
Even Tulane.
and actually Scott Wolf developed what's Company Burger now. That was a Wagner's Meat way back when. He built that building out and ended up it couldn't survive here, and then now post Katrina landscape, this is all flourishing, and so it's just a testament of like what's happening in New Orleans now. You guys are imports. I'm an import from Baton Rouge. It's not that far. You're
Build
Baton
that
Rouge.
wall.
Yeah, and are you a local? Are you a local?
I grew up in Metairie.
Oh, okay, so yeah, you are, and you're
I'm
obviously
I'm
not.
from
right?
I'm from an immigrant.
Right. When did you move here?
1990,
Yeah, you've been here a while.
27 years ago.
Did you
Right.
say 1919?
Almost. Feels like it.
100th year.
Yeah. No, I've been here 27 years.
Yeah.
So
And it's
Long time.
kept you here. It's a beautiful city.
once you get here, it's pretty impossible to leave.
It
'cause
really
there's
is,
really,
yeah.
where would you go after
Because you
this?
get a boot after like a week.
I really can't leave. They
Yeah,
took
right.
my car.
So, Dr. J, when people are in rehab,
Yes.
so you have a residential rehab. People are living at the residential facility?
We have Townsend Recovery Center out in New Orleans East on Reed Boulevard. It's a 36-bed unit. It's for detox and then move to partial hospitalization and then residential. And then we have 7 outpatient clinics around the state. One in Metairie, New Orleans, Covington, Houma, Baton Rouge, Lake Charles, and Lafayette. So
I think
the
that's
goal
more than
is
7, actually.
Well,
That was 8.
well, the inpatient is the inpatient and the 7 outpatient clinics. I think
Okay.
okay. And then
Well, it's a big business.
It-
And
well,
it's
it
a
is.
publicly traded company.
American Addiction Centers is, yes. And then if someone doesn't want to go to one of our locations in Louisiana, they can go anywhere actually in the country.
Okay.
American Addiction Centers
Wow.
will send them to
Okay,
Texas or
so
Florida.
I'm in recovery, and I'm doing okay, and then my house floods, and I lose everything.
Yes.
How do you stop yourself
from
sliding
spiraling down.
back? Yeah.
Okay, that's the $1,000,000 question. What happens is when bad things happen to people, the chemical balance in their brain becomes unbalanced, and when bad things happen, dopamine drops.
Right.
And when dopamine drops in a patient that does or a person that does not regulate it well, immediately they feel terrible. And the very first thing that they know what to do is how to fix it.
Yeah.
And so they reach for anything to fix it quickly. And so if someone's screaming at you every day, or you lose your house, or you have a boss that berates you, your dopamine gets down lower and lower and lower. And so that's what we call a dopamine depleted state. And then all you have to do is place yourself in an environment where there's constant cues. Cues are anything that reminds you of drinking or using. And the part of the brain that stores those memories is called the amygdala. And the amygdala actually releases an excitatory chemical that
Okay,
will
we're going down a wacky track. I'm just
spike
asking you, how do
It'll
you,
spike. So
how do
what-
you
how do you
stop
stop
that?
it?
Yeah.
So you remove yourself
Right.
from the cued environment. You get yourself back into the rooms of recovery. You go to your meetings. Whether it's refuge recovery, smart recovery, 12-step program.
But that moment when something bad happens
You
and you
call
want to
someone.
reach for a
You reach
cigarette
out.
or you reach for a drink
call-
or you reach for
call-
drugs,
You have to call
you
a
make
friend.
a call. You have to call
yeah,
the
that's-
buddy system.
And that's the hardest thing because the phone weighs
Right.
like 2,000 pounds.
Right.
And hopefully you stay right
good
up in the
song.
middle of the bullseye of recovery, which is you stay healthy, you eat, you rest, you exercise, you stay on the medicines that you might need to be on, and you don't isolate. And you surround yourself
Right.
with people that love you and are hopefully sober and
It's a
support
small
your
world
sobriety.
because that's the name of Andrew's new album. The phone weighs 2,000 pounds. What are the chances of that?
I heard that too. I wanted to steal it.
That was good. So okay, so that's what you do is you call someone.
Yes, you have
Okay.
to reach out. You reach out.
Can we call you? Do you have a phone
Yes,
number?
yes, we
What's your
do.
phone number? I'll
I
call
should
you.
know it off the top of my head. I can give you the Baton Rouge number. It's
I'm going to call you personally.
you want to call me personally?
Can I call you personally? I'm not feeling. I've had a bad day.
You know, if you need to
Dr.
call me, I'll give you my phone number.
Don't do it.
Don't do it on phone.
No.
Don't do it. Not
Oh,
over
you
the
guys are no fun. Okay, all right. Hey, Andrew, we've got to move along. So I'm going to make Andrew play a song because
Yes,
this is the
good.
week that Andrew's new record comes out. So
Yay, Andrew.
the
This
album
week.
is called False River, and I have it in my
grab the
hand
guitar.
here, and it's spelled F-A-L-S-E, just like the you'd expect. And it's absolutely stupendous.
Beautiful.
And I don't just say that
Beautiful
because Andrew's
artwork.
sitting here, because he's actually not.
He just
now.
walked away
Yeah.
now.
We can
So
say whatever we
Say the
want
truth.
now.
Right.
He'll
it's
never
a
know.
really great record. It really is an amazing album.
Wow.
You
Is that
should
the
check it
Grand
out.
Canyon back there?
The artwork's beautiful.
It's beautiful artwork.
Is that the False River? No.
No, that's a canyon of some sort. Let's see. Gorgeous.
Oh, do we need the other mic for the guitar?
Here.
We could just get the guitar mic off the floor.
Oh, it's
Speaking
actually-
of addiction, do we need another round of drinks? Anybody?
Yes,
Go on.
help us out.
Yeah,
You
I'll
going?
talk to you.
Is this guy buying a round?
Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
whatever you're having, take it.
So it's coming out this week, huh?
Physical copies, yep.
Woohoo!
Congratulations.
Thanks.
This one.
How long you been working on it?
I mean, the last record was 5 years ago, so I guess you could say that long.
The last
Took a year
record was
off,
Grammy nominated, by the way.
Nice.
And this one is 10 times better than the last one. Even.
Wow.
The
Thanks,
last one
dude.
was awesome.
Glad you think
You're
so.
going to get. I think people are going to be shocked when they hear this. Quite frankly.
Very cool.
Okay. I'll play you the very last song on this record.
Okay. What's it called?
Oh, it's called Easy Ways, I think it's called.
Do you want to tell us anything about it, or just?
That's a good question. Well, I guess so that last record that I made 5 years ago, I hired a couple of people to be the bass player and drummer, as you do. You might call that hired guns, as we all know. But man, I got along with those two guys, and they were the best drummer and bass player I'd ever played with, and to this day, the same. And they've become great friends and road dogs, and we toured for 4 years together.
Nice.
And for me, I'm building a name. I'm playing the songs I wrote, But for them, it's a little more thankless, and I just can't thank them enough for coming along that journey with me on that journey. And this song is for them. It's called Easy Ways, and the chorus is easy ways around the trouble and the shape that I'm in, but they don't go the places that I've been. And I think that's the lyric to the song, but I think it's we, the easy ways around the trouble and the shape that we are in, but they don't go the places that we've been. And so I send that out as thanks to Max and Miles every time I sing it. Max, from the just recording, these days he's playing with a country act named Miranda Lambert, so he's a little bigger in the world, in the touring world these days. And song goes like this. Bloody red sunset over the Nevada mountains, pretty as a pastel torn across a rough edge. Oh, look at me now, I'm lost and broken down. In a valley there were easy ways around. Easy ways around the trouble and the shape I'm in. But they don't go to places I've been. Easy ways around the trouble and the shape I'm in. But they don't go to places I've been. Forbidden taste, you kiss my cheek and then you kiss my face, until there was no face left to say. Oh, look at me now, I'm lost and broken down. In a valley there were easy ways around. Easy ways around the trouble and the shape I'm in. But they don't go to places I've been. Easy ways around the trouble and the shape I'm in. But they don't go to places I've been. Nashville Johnny, you can get your start. You can buy the hat, you can play the part. These days, that's the state of the art. Nashville Johnny, you can get your start. You can buy the hat, you can play the part. These days, that's the state of the art. Nashville Johnny, you can get your start. You can buy the hat, you can play the part. They don't go to places I've been. They don't go to places I've been. Now they don't go to places I easy ways around the trouble and the shape I'm in. They don't go to places I've been. Hey, thanks, y'all.
How would you describe that? You guys from Bon Bon Vivant?
Oh man, yeah. Well,
Great lyrics, man.
yeah.
Thanks, y'all.
That's
I'm
what I
back
listen
at you.
for.
Seriously, I really enjoyed that
I
tune.
love
I don't
that
even have to
story.
bullshit you. I usually bullshit on this show.
You have to try and be nice.
No,
I've been watching Andrew play. Go on.
I said
Jeremy.
I love a tune that doesn't pull any punches.
Yeah.
And it seems like even you and I talking at the bar,
Yeah.
we talked about some punches pretty
Sure,
quick.
we did. Yeah, sorry about that.
No, I like it.
Okay,
What were you
cool.
talking
I like
about
it.
at the bar?
What were the punches?
Yeah.
Well,
It was
yo-
between us girls.
that's right. Yeah, well, I also don't want to be a jaded prick about anything.
But honest sometimes
I
sounds
think-
jaded.
I think
and
you're
it's
probably-
different.
I have an incredible amount of shame when it comes to those things, and I admit that I'm only one perspective. But I think you're probably referring to the Nashville Johnny part, maybe.
Yeah.
I was in San Antonio and I was opening for this, Nashville act, and I had played that song one of the first times I played it live, and I realized that like, oh man, I felt a little. I guess that's what it feels like to be mortified or something. I felt like, oh man, maybe that was too much. And I just said, that Nashville Johnny line, and I kind of paused, and some guy goes, everybody knows a Nashville Johnny.
Right.
And I was like, all right, thanks, man.
Right.
So, that's right. You don't pull punches. You just make sure that you train enough that you know what you're doing when you throw
When you
punches.
say it,
Right.
yeah.
Know the rules, or something. I don't know that anyway. But you know what? I'm glad you pointed this out, Grant. As soon as you guys started playing, I was thinking you guys should be a part of this sometime. It's called Breakfast, and I put it on. It's a AM brunch and music festival.
Oh, neat.
AM, of course, time, not radio.
Right.
But I just thought there's so many post-Jazz Fest events, right, that we all know about, and they're important to the jam bands and the funk. But there's also the morning people who enjoy probably some AM-friendly, mellower music, something perhaps akin to what we are capable of bringing them in
Yeah.
a brunch setting. So I started, this has evolved over 6 years or so, but this year it's at Second Line Brewing.
Oh.
And
will there
Aurora
be
Neal-
eggs?
There will be eggs. There will be
Okay.
Cochon de lait Benedict, in fact.
Cochon de lait
Yeah.
Benedict. Oh,
Fet on Fet is doing serious things. In fact, I just did a Facebook Live today with Alex McMurray and Washboard Chaz over at Fet on Fet. I literally
got
just...
Alice McMurray to do a Facebook Live gig with you.
That's right.
That's
yeah.
pretty impressive.
And,
Okay.
and I basically just wanted them to show up, and I wanted to buy them lunch, and that's what we
that's
did.
what they did. All right.
And-
Thought there was an
but
explanation.
really, what I wanted to do is feed them this biscuits and gravy that Fet on Fet is serving for breakfast.
Okay.
Because it blew my mind when I had it, and I just wanted to see their reaction, so we did that.
Okay, let's get this straight.
We'll
Yeah.
be there.
The date is
Oh yeah,
May
May
6th.
6th.
Is it a Sunday?
Second Sunday of Jazz
Second
Fest.
Sunday
yeah.
of Jazz
May
Fest,
6th,
May
yeah.
the 6th. So we got plenty of time to get it together.
9
At
a.m. to
Second
2
Line,
p.m.
9 to 2.
Yep,
And
9 a.m.
brunch.
9 a.m.
9
to 2
a.m.
p.m.
2 p.m. It's quite a change from New Orleans, isn't it?
That's right.
Okay, and that's at Second Line Brewing, which is in Mid-City. What
It
is the
is.
actual address?
Oh man, who cares? Look it up on your phone. Everybody's got a phone. That's why I didn't put the address on there.
It's a modern age.
Yeah, okay. Somewhere across the railroad
It's on
tracks.
Bernadotte. If you know where Mix is, you turn right at Mix.
Somewhere around there. All right. Okay, cool.
That's a great song.
That's going to be
Thank you. Thanks a
All
lot.
right. Hey, you guys want to play another song while
Yeah.
we're here sitting around?
I don't know if I can follow that.
that's-
Come on,
That
get
was
the fuck out of
beautiful.
here. I already heard you. You definitely
We're nervous now.
I
You
know.
little, really?
Scared.
Well, you got to
Nashville Johnny.
amp it up a little bit.
Yeah,
hey,
do you
what's
want us
on your
to?
back? You have
Oh
an interesting-
no!
You have
Really?
a butterfly in a
Keep asking
jar.
me what is that back
It's a
there?
butterfly in a jar on your
That's
back.
right. Yeah, there's a cicada. There's lots of bugs. You know.
Oh, you have a cicada on this arm. Okay.
Yeah. Cicadas
some good
sing. They're the
stuff.
singing bug. You know that?
Okay.
The singing beetle.
Why do you have a butterfly in a jar? Is that?
I was very young and I was leaving the small town of Simi Valley, California, and I was like, I'm gonna get out this town like a butterfly in a jar.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
So,
simple symbology back then.
Right.
Yeah.
The symbol of escape.
That's
Are
it.
you both from Simi Valley, California?
We are.
Did you go to school together as well?
We didn't know each other until many, many years later.
He left town
What?
and I met his mother. That's a good way to you
Yeah.
know you met your lady
Related
through
to his brother.
yeah, I met
And
him
you
through
met
his
through
mama.
How did that happen?
A small town, I guess. I don't know.
My mother worked with a friend of hers. And so I came home for Christmas one year, and her friend was in my living room having Christmas with my family. So
I was
I,
like, "Who's this? You are not my sister."
yeah, so they started.
was you?
They hung out a little
No,
bit.
no.
it was
It's my best friend.
Abigail's best friend.
She brought him around, and
Yeah.
the rest is history, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's pretty weird. Can you follow that? Anybody else?
I
Dr.
met
J?
my husband at AA, and he's here supporting me today. Hey,
That's
Eddie.
your husband over here.
Eddie, say
Hey.
hi.
What's up, Eddie?
Hey,
I like
Eddie.
your shirt,
What's up,
Eddie.
Eddie?
Okay.
He's a musician and an artist, and
So
he's
you
a
can,
wonderful
you can
support to
thank
me.
you can thank addiction for the.
Yes, I can. I
So
would
something
never have
good
met
came
him.
out of.
Yes.
Easy ways
yes.
around the trouble and the shape that we're in.
Yes.
They don't go to the places we've been.
There you go.
All
There
right.
you go.
That's it.
Hey, that's pretty cool. And how long have you been married?
It'll be 6 years.
And were you in a failed relationship before because of your drug addiction?
I was in a relationship with a man that I loved who drugged right with me. And then when I tried to stop, I asked him to stop. And this is very common
Yeah.
because birds of a feather flock together. And then when one tries to get well and the other one's too sick to hear the message, it's hard.
Yeah.
So
So
I
he-
had to say
yeah.
goodbye. I had to
Yeah.
end an 8-year relationship. It was
Yeah,
hard.
Yeah.
And is he still fucked up, or has he got it together?
I don't
or
know.
what? You don't know? We can find. Sea-Rock will find him right now. For you.
When I shut the door on that part of my life,
it go.
I let
Are
it
you
go.
serious?
Yes, sir. Yes, it was hard.
Yeah.
I really loved him. I did.
So you're trying to cure thousands of other people, but this guy
We
you
should
left
write
behind.
songs together.
Oh my gosh. The
You got the
content.
stories.
right?
I can tell you a lot of stories.
Okay.
The saddest story. One was a patient that I
This is
had.
Andrew's ready for this.
He,
Look at his
He's
eyes.
writing it down. He got his notepad
put
took
out.
a,
It's sad.
he
Let me
put
took
my
a
phone on
drill
record.
bit to his tibia.
What's it?
To
That's
to
your
the
leg.
front of his leg to get to drill a hole in his leg to
Because
go
of
to the
the
emergency
snakes.
room to get pain pills.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I had a patient just a few weeks ago
Wow.
who thought he was doing Xanax. It was a patient from Florida, and when he came into treatment, he was actually dependent on roxicodone and fentanyl because the people are pressing. They actually are pressing their own pills now. They put almost anything in it, so you don't even know what you're getting today. We always take a risk when we buy drugs, but people are really taking a big risk today. So we had to get them off Xanax, cocaine, alcohol, and opioids. Opioids.
We haven't even
Yeah.
mentioned the word opioid yet,
Yeah,
and we're in the
yeah.
middle of apparently some gigantic opioid epidemic. I forgot all about that.
I know. Even though this is Alcohol Awareness Month, and I brought
Is
tons
it?
of stats actually.
Oh.
You want to hear a few?
Yeah. Are they pro-alcohol or
Oh,
anti-alcohol?
gosh.
Because
We,
we're
uh,
in favor
Part
of
of that
alcohol.
party. So.
Here's
Sorry
here's
about buying
Don't bum us out. with some-
okay.
for the round,
This is a
Zach.
shout out
What
to
are you drinking?
Homa. Homa and Thibodeau consumes the most alcohol in the state. Go Homa.
Good job.
Ooh, Homa.
Actually, that's
Is
not
that-
a great stat. Actually, I mean, it's in the top 25% of the nation.
Hey, hang on a minute. Is this per capita you're talking about?
This is per capita. Louisiana ranks 17
think
in
how
the
much booze
nation
we're drinking here
when
in
it
New
comes
Orleans.
when it
Homa.
comes to binge drinking and heavy drinking.
Was what? Where are we in the nation?
We're number 17.
Oh, my God, we've got to be higher than. We've got to be able to get
better
that
than
up.
that.
I-
everybody.
we need to-
Better.
Just because you drink out, on the streets, you're getting 5 cocktails down quick, and then you're going home like a lightweight. There's people with issues who are back like on the couch drinking 24 at a time.
Correct.
Right.
Most of the people who are really, really actively using toward the end, they're not out in the clubs.
Right.
Exactly.
You're right. They're home.
Right.
They're isolating. The disease wants to isolate you and pull you away from society. And that's when it takes you down at the end.
Let me just
They
ask you one
passed-
quick question.
Yes.
Is it the same disease, the addiction to anything?
Yes, sir.
To sex,
It's
religion?
that's the most important thing. If you learn nothing today from me, addiction is addiction is addiction.
Okay.
And what we just choose, we find different substances that we love or different things, and we call them most effective rewards. So we don't discern between an alcoholic and a person with addiction, an addict.
So it's all the search for the same thing.
It's
ultimately like a manifestation.
which is the ultimate reward, the pleasure center of the brain. So you could be addicted to Twinkies, shopping
you
online. I got to tell my
Why
husband
she's pointing at you
to
up
get
and
rid of
going, sorry,
Amazon
she doesn't
Prime.
mean
She
you.
knows.
You saying
You can see it.
You saying I'm fat? Are you saying I'm fat?
Twinkies.
Netflix.
They still make Twinkies.
Netflix.
Netflix.
I mean, come on.
Okay.
They don't even now. They have skipped the introduction. Oh my
Binge
God!
watching.
Right? Yeah.
Instant
Skip the intro.
gratification, for
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
And one of the most difficult drugs in the world to actually finally get rid of totally and just get out of your life. You want to know what it is?
Caffeine.
Sugar.
Love.
Sugar.
Well, yes.
Love.
Jeremy.
What is it?
You're right. Sugar. Nicotine.
Seth, you
Nicotine and sugar. Nicotine and
Nicotine and
sugar.
sugar, okay.
Yeah.
They say it's worse than cocaine
And-
and sugar.
Well,
Howard-
nicotine is in nothing except cigarettes, though, isn't it? What else is it in?
Nicotine, it's in, dip, it's in the vaping, it's in every,
Oh, I see, all that stuff.
nicotine gum. Nicotine, I can help my patients get off heroin, fentanyl, Roxy, alcohol, but to get them to finally stop smoking,
Yeah.
it's just horrendous.
That
It's
is
socially
hard.
accepted, that's why. Yeah.
Well, I have one question that's sort of related. Can you get Quaaludes still?
I wish I could. No, I'm
Okay. Yeah, that's a no, I
Or
guess.
714s. You were from my times.
Yeah.
Lemons. Yes.
Weren't they great? And they were legal.
Oh my God! The closest to those was ecstasy. Actually, I think it just, but
Not as good.
not.
Quaalude, you could still drive a car,
Potato,
sort
potato.
of. Yeah.
Those bring back bad memories.
Okay,
Great
come on.
memories, but bad memories.
Okay, what song are we going to hear, guys, from Bon Bon Vivant? Because we do have to get out of
Let's
here.
do
We're
it.
going to do a tune called Lost Soul in honor of Quaaludes and Ecstasy.
That's
Yes,
it.
thank you.
Speaking
Lost
language.
Soul. Is this on a record? Can we steal this off of
This
Spotify?
is, yeah, we have an album called Paint and Pageantry that has
Pink-
this song
did you-
on there.
Pink Pageantry.
Paint and Pageantry is the album title.
What's it called?
Paint and Pageantry.
And the band is called Bon Bon Vivant. So
Bon Bon
good they
Vivant.
named it twice.
Yeah, we got a website and all that jazz you need these days. Will you hand me that instrument right there, sister?
Okay, so your sister,
Glory. This is
Glory.
Glory.
Glory without the A at the end. It's just Glory
Yeah,
with
no,
no
we have
A.
religious parents.
Glory and Excelsis.
That's it.
Okay.
All right, y'all ready? Can you hear me? Rye's gonna start this one, our drummer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 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 that old gypsy woman, she looked at my phone, said you're gonna live 100 years and never one of them will be there unless you place a single thorn in the middle of my head every day for 1,000 days to back my lost soul. Hey. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 to back my lost soul. Hey. Darkening skies, they prophesy these devil days. The moon it rains, I hear my mama cry. She loves her sheep, my soul to keep. These wolves at bay, she prays and prays to back my lost soul. Hey. Oh, 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 oh.
trickery to be born incomplete. You'd say your soul to be made whole. The trickery to be born incomplete. Oh, 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 that old gypsy woman, she looked at my bones. You're gonna live 100 years and every one of them will be dead. And lets you place a single card in the middle of my head. Every day for 1,000 days to buy my lost soul. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. To buy my lost soul. Here we go. Got to say 1,000 prayers to buy my lost soul. Got to say 1,000 prayers to buy my lost soul. Got to say 1,000 prayers to buy my lost soul.
Very nice indeed. Bon Bon Vivant, the Cosio sisters, Abigail and Glory,
That's it.
and
Right back
Jeremy
there on the
Kelly and
drums.
Ray D'Antonio on drums. What a great way to go out of happy hour.
Yeah.
I think we have to get the hell out of here, right?
I think
okay.
so.
We're out of here, everybody.
Thank you
wow,
for
thank you
having
so much.
us.
The name of the band
Great
is
show.
Bon Bon Vivant. And we can steal it off of Spotify and find
That's
it on
right.
YouTube. Okay, so that's good to know. All right, very good. And Andrew, let's get serious about your record.
Sure.
If we want to get a hold of it, we can go to Spotify and take a listen to the two
Couple of
songs.
singles for now.
Two songs off of the new album. It's called False River.
Yep.
And if you're joining us for the first time, it's Duhon, Andrew Duhon.
Yeah. You can pre-order, if you want physical copies, you can pre-order that on the website right now, andrewduhon.com. But yeah, you know, if you're out somewhere else, if you're in Saskatchewan, it's coming out May 25th.
Okay, very good. And Dr. J, if anyone listening to this is really all fucked up on
Yes.
something and they
Town-
want to do something about it,
TownsendLA.com. Call us, get on our website, and we have a we have a hotline that'll answer any questions and get you
and
anywhere
can we get
you
a
need.
happy hour
Yes.
discount?
Yeah.
10% off your first.
Just tell them
shot
Dr.
of
J's on the
methadone.
way,
So-
and
That's
hopefully
right.
they'll know to plug
They'll
you into
know
the
they
right
get the
people.
assist.
All
Thank
right.
you so much for having
Seriously
me today.
though, seriously
Yes.
though, it's Townsend, Townsend.
LA.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And is it true that we have more people, that we have more prescriptions for opioid
Yeah. We're
in
one of the.
Louisiana than there are people in the state? Is
Yes.
that true?
Yeah, that is true. And there's a new act that just passed, Act 76, which is to get my medical license renewed, I have to take 3 CME, continuing medical education hours, on addiction, drug diversion, and pain management. So doctors they're educating us. They're educating
So
us.
we're making
and
progress.
dentists too.
Only 3 hours?
Only it's better than nothing.
Yeah,
I know.
My
I know.
mom's an RN.
Yeah.
She has to do
And
like
don't forget about that alcohol is one of the most consumed drugs in the world. And this is Alcohol Awareness Month. And we're here if you need us.
We're also here if you need us at happy hour. We have plenty
Yes.
of drinks
Right.
here. But you don't have to be an alcoholic to have a drink. You can still drink and enjoy it.
There's millions of people that can drink
Can
alcohol and
actually
enjoy it.
control
and,
themselves.
And I'm very happy for them.
Right,
Very
exactly.
happy for them.
Seth Smiley has been here as well. Seth, thanks
Yes.
so much for joining us. Anything you want to add
No,
at
it's
the
been
end?
fantastic. I've loved listening to the acts that we've had and meeting Dr. J and yeah, Seth Smiley Law Firm. And you
Okay.
know, I want to come back on. We need to do this at
Come
Melba
back
soon
on.
too.
We
For
do.
real.
Melba's.
Yeah, I can make that happen.
Do it at
easily.
Melba's.
We'll
Great
we'll
idea.
get the
Let's
acts
do
back
it.
and everything. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And put the smiley on you. So thank you very much to Basics Swim and Gym. We can get a full range of fashion swimsuits and workout and yoga clothes with style. You can find Basics Swim and Gym right next to Basics Lingerie Store on Magazine Street near Jefferson Avenue. Thanks to Hangover Destroyer, the only all-natural product medically proven, Dr. J, to cure a hangover or prevent a hangover. You can find them at hdestroyer.com. And you can write Dr. J in the coupon code and get 30% off your first order of Hangover Destroyer. And thank you to Louisiana Legs, where you can find workout and yoga clothes with designs that incorporate photographic art. like Mardi Gras beads and boiled crawfish, all kinds of things. You can find Louisiana Legs on Instagram, and you can buy Louisiana Legs on Etsy. And thank you very much to our Patreon subscribers as well. If you want to be a part of our Happy Hour family, go to patreon.com and look for It's New Orleans Happy Hour and join up. Thank you so much for being here. Our show is produced today by Graham DePonte, you guys. Our associate producer is Alison Moon. Christian Unruh is our music director. Thomas Walsh is our technical director. Asher Griffith is the Facebook Live feed director who put this all on Facebook Live. Our fact checker and social media connector is Andrew Xerox. So good they named him twice as well. Our theme music was written by and is currently being played by Mitch Foreman, who actually has a studio in Simi Valley. If you'd like to be on our show, you can drop us a line. Our address is on our website, itsneworleans.com. You can also find many other happy hours that we've recorded previously, as well as some other shows we make here, including Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti live from Commander's Palace, Louisiana Eats with Poppy Tucker, and our award-winning podcast about death called Death the Podcast. That was named one of the top 40 podcasts in America in 2017. You can also find other great Louisiana podcasts at itsacadiana.com and itsbatonrouge.la. You can keep up with us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and a bunch of other time-sucking social media as well. And all of it, we're called It's New Orleans, and you can find photos from this show on itsneworleans.com and on our Facebook page. These photos are taken today by Alison Moon. Hey, look, I got a blank piece of paper here. How about that? If you're listening to this on your favorite podcast app, thank you for subscribing to us. Take a moment, if you've got one, to rate and review us. That helps other people find us. Our show is recorded live today at Wayfair on Ferret Street in Uptown New Orleans. Happy Hours, a production of I Know Broadcasting for itsneworleans.com. Andrew Duhon is going to be around town. You can find him also at Jazz Fest. Look at andrewduhon.com for that information. And you guys, Bon Bon Vivant, are playing on Royal Street over the weekend. You can find them around town as well. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Grant Morris. I'll see you back here next week on Happy Hour.